Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, just bagging and boarding like a million comic books. That's a cool variant cover there. Pretty cool. Um, a lot of these are high grade comics, and let's see. Trying to get into the flow. Let's send this stream to my parents because those are the only people that tune in usually. All right. Okay. Oh, need the board. Need my coffee, man. Batgirl variant cover. High grade. So I tried to get the CGC comic grading guide booklet that they re-released recently, and it's like sold out. Like you can't even get it. It's like this esoteric, hermetic um, information that they keep guarded so so closely. And what did I get all over this? I got electrolytes on my plastic bags. Electrolytes, also known as salt, which I think is funny. I think it's funny that salt, these marketing geniuses, um, managed to put in some flavoring and market salt as electrolytes. I think that's what's really funny. Um, Good on them though. Just a little flavoring. Got these cool Wonder Woman comic books here. So I've actually never gotten comic books graded for the store. Um, I always kind of self grade them, and like I don't know, something like this would be like uh, in the nines. But I tried to get the my hands on the CGC comic grading booklet. Like they re-released it a few years ago and it sold out really fast. And these cool Dark Horse present awesome, awesome artwork there. But um yeah, you can't get a hold of the Oh, hey, what's up? Oh, there's people saying hi. What's up? How's it going? Cool. Hey, thanks for hanging out. Yeah, I got doubles of a bunch of these. Wow, I made one of the I hate when the piece of tape gets caught on the comic because then it's like, oh man, I'm gonna ruin that comic. So I try to like kind of keep it out while I slip it in there. Really like these uh Miller designs. Really cool. So yeah, we're getting ready for a big event, as you know, Free Comic Book Day is coming up. And while our store is not like an official affiliate, it's I wanted to do something special. Um, So I emptied out like a whole storage container filled with comic books, and I'm gonna price them all, and most of them are gonna be like 4 for $1. These ones that I have that I'm bagging and boarding, I'm gonna charge like $1 or $2. Some of them are collectible, and I'll look them up, but I think most of the ones that I'm going through right now, like unless you went and got this graded, you could probably get it graded pretty high. I mean, that's mint. Unless you went and got these graded, it'd be hard to get a lot for them. But I mean, that's what's fun is like, if you wanted to come, you could probably pick up a lot of these and then get them graded, you know. If you have an in where it doesn't, how much does it cost to grade comics? Yeah, it is a good price. Um, I don't want them. Our store isn't like a comic book store where I want to like keep hold on to the comics like forever and just like get the absolute highest price that I could possibly get. Like I kind of just want to somebody to come in the store and be like, "Dang, that's a good price. Heck yeah, I'll get that." And if they want to resell it, that's fine. You want to take the time to get it graded and resell. These Dark Horse Presents comics are awesome. I love the art. The cover layouts are really kind of I know it's a different kind of feel, sort of a symmetrical sort of feel. Um, got a bunch of doubles here, as you can see. Um, yeah, the Dark Horse Presents is like a variety. It's not all like Sin City in here. It's like a variety where they have different stories. I would live in your country. I would go there, but I'm from Hungary. Hey, what's up from Hungary? Right on. Uh, I wish, I wish you could use the business. Um, man, I got like a ton of copies of these. Wild. And so I've been experimenting with, okay, there's an awesome Predator cover, Dark Horse Presents. But the thing with some of these Dark Horse Presents comics, so here's that Predator one, is that they're like black and white. They're not color or glossy. It's like they put all of the creativity on to the cover, which is fine, you know. So this was Predator Race War, published in 1993. That's a pretty far. It's a long ways away. I think the Did you guys see the most recent Predator movie? I think that thought it was awesome. I loved it. I I just saw it once in the theater, and I really want to see it again. Um, so I think they're doing some.
Your shipment?
Oh, I did. Thank you. Yeah, there is another one. The shipment. No. Well, I'm gonna order some more bags and boards.
I asked Josh about ordering the V&M bag, but he said he had some, he's gonna send them over.
Oh, good.
Do you guys need post-it notes?
Sure.
Anything else? Any other supplies? Cool.
These annuals are awesome. These thick ones. So this is the New Titans 1990. They're like color. This one has like a little nick on the bottom there. So if a book has like a little nick on the bottom, uh you can't really grade it higher than like a 7 or an 8 in my opinion, even though the thing is pretty nice. I'd say if you're grading stuff yourself to sell on eBay, it's best to stay as conservative as possible to keep customer satisfaction high. It's cool. But these were just like chilling in these boxes, and I I think they held their condition really really well. Oh, you're welcome. New Teen Titans. A lot of member berries going on here. I love the ads in the back. Stephen King's Graveyard Shift. It's like a variety, one of those variety films. Um, oh, oh, don't want to damage the corner. Okay, then you see this is something that you'd want to look out for. There's a little teeny bit of water damage down there. So if I was grading this, um, man, that can't be higher than if it's perfect otherwise, it can't be higher than like an 8. That's me anyways. I like to be super conservative. But these are just going to be priced like a dollar or two for folks coming to our big sale. Where is this one? Man. Yeah, got a whole box of these Teen Titan ones. Hey, take care. Thanks for hanging out in the chat, trying to accrue my 10,000 public watch hours, if that's even possible. Okay. So yeah, I've got this massive pile of comics that I'm trying to grade and bag and board. Right now, I've got a big old box of Teen Titans, and these are all pretty cherry. These are these are in the high nines. If you're in the comic book grading, I would say they're like extremely readable. It's like nobody's cracked these open at all. Yeah. Oh man, it's all Teen Titans. Okay. Well, I'll show each cover. Maybe that would make it interesting for everyone at home. Okay, that one. So I'm gonna be pricing these at like a dollar or two um, for our big sale. Let me know in the chat. Is that too high? Is that too low? I mean, I'm taking the time to bag and board them. That's something. These bags and boards aren't free. They're actually kind of expensive. And I think if somebody were to, if you could get these graded for cheap, man, you'd be able to do pretty well for yourself. I think like if I would love it if I had a buddy who worked in the comic book grading thing and they were like, yeah, dude, we can just grade we can just grade all your comics for like 50 cents a piece, man. You better believe I would. I mean, I wonder what their overhead is for grading it, because you got to think um these annuals are really nice, super thick. This one's Friday the 13th. Wait, yeah, Friday the 13th ad on the back. Pretty cool. But yeah, I wonder what their overhead for grading a book is. You know, is anybody has anybody ever worked for CGC or the other one? Yeah, these annuals are awesome. So they charge like I think it's like 20 or 30 bucks per book. And then they make you fill out a bunch of the information, you know. They make you like estimate what it's going to be. And so you've already done some legwork, you know, when it comes to pricing it and grading it already. And it's like, do they really go through it with like a fine, with like a magnifying glass and everything? I'm sure for some of the more expensive ones they do. I think it's funny. I really like the videos where I forget what YouTuber or TikTok dude did it, but he'll like have books that he's had graded, like really expensive books, and then he'll he'll crack them open from the shell, and then he'll resubmit them to get them graded again. I think that's kind of an ingenious idea for a YouTube video because you're kind of showing the objectivity of it, I mean, excuse me, the subjectivity of comic book grading. It's like, is the dude who's grading your book, has he had his coffee yet? Did he did he get in an argument with his 13-year-old teenage son who like wanted to watch Barbarella on Amazon Prime, but the dad said no, we can't. That's not streaming. It's not for free. If it's streaming, then maybe, but no, we're not going to pay the 2.99 to have you watch Barbarella with Pamela Anderson on for one, that's not appropriate. That's not appropriate. Okay, maybe if your mom was gone. For one, that's not appropriate. For two, that movie is it's pretty corny. Special effects are pretty corn dog. Three, I'm not spending Samuel, I'm not spending 3.99 for Amazon Prime for Barbarella. No, go to your room. And then he wakes up and goes in the comic book grading office, and then your books are sitting there. And he's just like, oh boy, what do we got? A bunch of new bunch of Teen Titan books from the 90s. Oh boy, yeah. These are really gonna these are really gonna make you $1,000,000, dude. Thanks for sending me a comic book. What? Wolverine #2? Thanks for sending me a comic book that I've seen a million times. So, anyways, just a fun thought experiment. But if anybody from CGC is watching, I could use a job. I mean, this job is good. I like it. But I'd be interested in doing that work. I think it'd be fun because I already do it. Um, I grade these myself when I'm putting them on eBay. I grade them extremely conservatively because I place a high emphasis on, oh, hey, what's up? Hey, bye. Sorry. Sorry, somebody came in the chat room and said a bunch of stuff, and then I didn't even see it, didn't respond, and then they left. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry if that was you. Um, I'll try to be more silly squirrels. Is that a sad Pac-Man ghost? That because that's what it looks like to me, which is cool. I mean, the ghosts, they're just like imprisoned there, and you know, they gotta chase down Pac-Man, and they're always getting eaten and stuff. Dude, how many Teen Titan books? I think this is like a complete run of this iteration, this 80s iteration of the Teen Titans. But I'm gonna price these out later, probably $1 to $3, maybe a little bit more for like the annual ones if they're in really good shape. Um, let me know if you think that is like a good price or if that price is like insane. It might be too much. I really just want the comic books to go to people that will enjoy them. Let's see what this one. Oh yeah, more of these Dark Horse Presents. These are so cool. I only wish they had um color. They're not they've they've got these awesome covers and everything, but inside it's black and white. I mean, it is like a preview sort of preview roundup book. Today this would be something that I don't know, maybe give away for free, but they're not even doing color. They're not even doing coloring in that, and they're charging a cover price of 225 back in what is this, 90s and 1991. Like, what is that, like $5 today? And you can't color it? I don't know. I think uh I think if you're charging that much money for a comic book, you should be coloring it, in my opinion. But hey, what do I know? I just work here. Yeah, these covers are awesome. These covers are sick. Oh, I got a bunch of them. Nice. Um, I love my favorite covers are the Alien Predator ones. I hope we get to see some of them. But these Millar ones are pretty rad. Like that dude's pretty pissed. Um, you're getting across the emotional. I think the emotion that comes through is felt, received, which is a hallmark of a good illustration or comic, is you're putting across really simple you're sketching out a thing and you need the essential what's the essential emotion or thing that you want to get across because you're not taking a million years to do like a painting. It's not a Caravaggio, it's a comic. It's fast. It's like, whoa, okay, what's the essence of this character? This dude's pissed. And that thing was cool. What is this? Oh, JLA. I don't know. Should I be bagging these? It's JLAs. I think cool Batman. Hey, I'm getting through them. Getting through them. Cool Batman. Yeah, I think being on stream helps me go faster. Like, uh-oh, right when I said that, I get hitched up on the plastic, start getting high on my own supply. That's like a cool variant cover. Yeah, that's pretty rad. Pretty sinister looking. Um, so some of these variants I know are worth a little bit more. This isn't a variant. This is a later. I mean, I know these Batmans aren't like super collectible, but they're I'm bagging them because I'm putting them in the long boxes because I'm hoping somebody gets them to read and collectors that want to send them in to get them graded will have a book that is in really great shape and won't get all messed up in the long box or in wherever I put it. So, people are always thumb through, and it takes too much time to keep things like can't keep things behind a counter, man. You have to let people go through them and see them. Yeah, some of these I've seen some of these that are graded sell for a good amount. Um, man, I got a ton of the same copy. I'm hoping that like a collector will be like, hey, dollar a piece. I'm gonna buy all those, send them in, get them graded, sell them for like I don't know. That's the game though. If you have an in with somebody, or the best way, um, is to go to the conventions, like because they'll usually have a representative or a booth there that will do gradings the same day. You got to get there pretty early to get in line because there's a lot of like-minded people that want to capitalize on the grading in person because you don't have to pay for postage. Um, you don't have to wait the insane turnaround time of what is it like 3 months or something to get the thing back. It's something obscene. But then again, you have to take the time to go and get it graded. But I mean, you're going to a comic book convention and that's fun. So I would think of it just as a fun way to get books graded that is slightly cheaper than sending them in. I got like here's a cool Punisher book. So we got these from somebody who donated them to us. They donated about um I would say 500 long boxes of comic books that were all like in this condition. And I think they were doing it as like a tax write-off, I think, or maybe it was just like out of the goodness of their heart, they knew that um, it would help us out. But yeah, these were donated. and they showed up in these like 3 massive pallets one day to our warehouse in North Hollywood. And finally, I finally got the time to go through all of the books, and these are the ones that are either just like mint that I know I'm gonna need to. Collector is going to be glad that I took the time to bag and board it so that they can buy it and then probably get it graded and resell it, which is fine. Just don't have the time to fill out the form, do all that stuff. So, do I have any cool ones in here? Anyways, I got to get through them all, so I can't be like, oh, I want to do cool. I want to show you guys the cool ones. I do. I've got some cool Batmans from the 80s and 90s, and I have some cool Eastman Laird Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle books. Uh, I've also got Wolverine, 1 through like 70 or something, but those are already bagged, and I just have to price those out. But yeah, just here in Southern California at the bookstore in my office, bagging bagging books. And I'm gonna send this stream to uh I'm gonna send this stream off to my parents because I don't think they got it. Is there? They're like, oh, what's Jeremy doing? This is the one time we get to talk to Jeremy when he's doing a live stream. Anyways, how much would you guys charge for some of these books? I mean, okay, Green Arrow from the 90s, it's like a high nines. Drop a comment. How much would you charge? I'm probably going to charge like $1. I'm probably going to be like $1. If I find some cool like X-Men or Wolverine things, uh, like some cool Jim Lee Wolverine stuff, I'll charge like $4 or $5 or Spider-Man. But this sort of later 2000s DC stuff, when was this? What is this? 1995. Okay. 90s. So it's 2026. So these are old. These are like these are like 30 years old. Um yeah, so these aren't like they look brand new, but they're, from the 90s. I think that's a testament to the person who stored them before donating them to us, which I think props to him. Yeah, okay, cool variant cover. It's kind of fun. Some chick, Galactus chick or something. I don't know. You guys tell me. You guys drop a comment if you know who that is. Drop a comment if you know who that is. He's got an X on his shirt. Oh, that's the what's it called? What's that series called? The Jim Kruger, the Jim Kruger arc, the DC arc. I don't know. It's kind of cool. But yeah, in North Hollywood, California, at the last bookstore, Studio City, preparing for a huge sale that I have put together mainly myself, but with help from some coworkers. It's going to be Friday into Saturday. It's right at the beginning of May. Um, so I went through about 500 long boxes of comics, separated them all out. I took out the oh that doesn't fit. Am I out of boards? So I went through about 100 long box or 500 long boxes, and I separated it out into books that would be four for $1, um, and books that would be more than four for $1. So books that are four for $1, obviously I'm not bagging and boarding those. That would be not a good usage of my time. But for books that are going to be priced like $1 and up, like these cool variants, um, or books that are in such good shape that a collector could come buy them and like resell them on eBay or something or whatnot, or if they wanted to get them graded, they could buy them. So that's kind of the purpose of bagging and boarding some of these, even though these books aren't like super high. Yes, I found, well, I have found some treasures so far in this stream. Um, these are these are what I call modern, sort of interesting. If you if you're really into collecting and you want something that is in superly good shape, if you found it at a bookstore or a comic book store priced the way that I'm going to be pricing them, like $1 or two, you would be pretty happy. It's like I don't have time to some more Dark Horse Presents. These are so cool. Like I don't have time to grade and put every single little comic book up for sale on eBay. I'd much rather have collectors come by and scoop them up in like an arbitrage sort of thing. That's the logic behind um, taking the time to bag and board all of these. Oh boy, I need more bags. So today we are using the cheapest bags that you can get off of Amazon. Um, 100 current comic book bags. There's no like brand name or anything. I think they're pretty good. Um, there's an inherent danger in taking off tape and then leaving the tape on and then putting the board in here. I always take it off, and I'll tell you why. Because a lot of times the tape will be like the tape tab will be just kind of sitting here, and then the tape tab will stick to the front of the comic book and it will rip it. And that has happened like uh-oh, uh-oh. That has happened a number of times to me. Son of Over caffeinated. That's happened to me a number of times. So now I know I just take I just take it off. 1990s Batman Legend of the Dark Knight. Pretty cool. I think they're cool. Got a bunch of these. Hoping hoping that some collectors will like them. So I've got a coworker who every every single book that I would bring up, if he was here right now, he would he'd be melting your brains with facts about these. You'd have to be like paying attention and stuff. 'Cause there would be so many there would be so many factoids and there would be so many little stories that your brain your brain would like melt. Well, this one's cool. Double sized milestone issue. Has anybody else seen this? It's like a thick one. It's got like a poster in it or something. Well, it's got like a fold out thing. That's kind of cool. Yeah, that's a nice comic book there. Um that's pretty cool. Maybe I could charge like $5 for that. I mean, it's in pretty good shape. It's like some of these things I'm just shooting from the hip for the price. I don't have like I don't have time to look up every single freaking book. Some of the books I'm just gonna like shoot from the hip and be like, okay, that looks like a $5 comic book. What do you think? You want to buy it or not? I think like double issues like that, graded in the high nines. I think that could be $5. Tell me, tell me if you think, tell me if you think that is a fair price. All right. I think it's a fair price. Did anybody see that uh Ghost Rider movie with Nick Cage? Was it back in night? Was that in the 90s or was that in the 2000s? That was that movie. I don't know. Was it good? I don't remember anything about it, dude. Very dangerous. Just taking the tape off, leaving the tape tap here. Um, that's like a recipe for putting tape on the cover of your comic book and ruining it forever. Like, pretty good shape. Man. Hmm. What are these like the new Teen Titans from the 80s? That is some weird art, man. These are the artwork for these new Teen Titans is pretty it's it's a different feel for sure. Let's look. I'm curious who did the cover art for these because they're so weird. They just look like weird art to me. Um, if anybody knows, put it down in the chat, but I'm just gonna flip it open if you don't mind and see who did the art. Who did the cover art? Uh 1984 cover art. Dude, I can't even find my eyes must be going because like I can't find who did the cover art. I'm so sorry. Uh I thought I would do like a little, hey, this will be fun. Let's find out who did the cover art for these weird new Teen Titan things because they've got an interesting aesthetic. I don't know if I like them, but they're notable and that they're just different from everything else, in my opinion. Let's see. Let's see here. Yeah, this art kind of looks like what a kid. It looks kind of like a kid's art or something. Dude, no offense to the cover artist for the new Teen Titans in the 80s. Maybe they had a certain budget constraints. They needed something whipped up. They couldn't have all this fancy good art and stuff. They had to they had to they had to have art that looked like a middle schooler was doing it. Hey, that's really negative. I'm sorry. I take it back. I'm not a published comic book artist, so I don't have I don't have any place in bad mouthing um, a cover artist. It was published in a big franchise. I think I'm just gonna take all of these out first. This one looks kind of old. Changelings? Man, that's a kind of rough shape. Raven, Willy Wonka, just really, yeah. These comic books are ratchet. These comic books are chopped. Is that what they say? These are chopped. Really bad shape. Really bad condition. I mean, they're from like the early 80s. Is it worth putting them in bags and boards or should I sell them for $4 for $1? I don't know. It's like you don't get to see really old books like this. I think the fact that I'm putting it in a bag and board, um, it's got this embossed figure on here. There's not really too many tears, it's from 1981, 82. That's pretty old. I think somebody could pay like a dollar for that. I don't know. I don't want to throw it in a box and just be like, okay, you could go through it and just tear it up a whole bunch. Um, yeah. So here's the plan. I'll tell you the whole plan. The plan was to go through all of these boxes, separate them all out into four per dollar comics and into hand tagged comics. And then I'm gonna set up like a bunch of tables out in the main room. We're gonna have a big event um, during the free comic book day thing. I think that's May 1st. We're not a free comic book affiliate, but I don't think there's anything wrong with saying, hey, we're having our own comic book event. You know, we're going to be maybe our free comic book day can be like, hey, if you buy four comic books, you get a free comic book. Maybe that will be our free comic book day. That's kind of my plan. So yeah, I'm just gonna bag these up because I think they're just gonna get destroyed if I leave them in the box without a bag. They're just gonna get totally bent. And some of these old Batmans are pretty cool. Um, I don't know what happened in this story arc. What's this, the 90s? I think the painted, I think these painted covers are really cool. And it's an interesting sort of like frame they did on the outside, kind of redesigned. The titles are kind of interesting, but it's like the reason why I don't like this border as much is because there's less room for art, you know? I think I think this cover art would be so much more um I mean this artist is doing a rad painting like watercolor sort of thing or acrylic, and they're going to be published, but then DC Comics has this design where a good 10% of the printable surface is taken up with an uninteresting blue border. And I think that is an editorial uh, misstep. Because as long as because these paintings are rad and you're paying the artist for the art, wouldn't you like to have that filling up the whole frame? Like that would be so much cooler than these black boxes. They were trying stuff. They were definitely trying things, you know what I mean? They're it's a weird like pink and blue. That's like a weird. I mean, it's striking. It's different. These letters are like these elongated letters. It's elongated letters superimposed over kind of a squished sort of Batman symbol that isn't really that cool. And then this little squiggle line right here. What are these squiggle? What are these squiggle lines? Like who was like, yeah, let's have a squiggle thing. I don't know. Um, let's see. Have I been muted this whole time? Can you hear me? Please tell me you can hear me. That I haven't been muted. Just put a thumbs up in the chat. I think I was clicking too many things. Let's see. Cool action comes. You have to excuse me for like 5 seconds, okay? Oh boy.
Okay, I'm coming.
I'm coming back. All right, okay. Jeez Louise. You can hear me, right? I thought I had the microphone thing off, but okay, I'm back. So I was saying, um, I have been doing like uh scripted shorts almost every day for like probably like 50 days where I would write a script, shoot it, edit it, upload it to TikTok and here. And man, I just got burned out. I got crazily burned out. It's all I would do. And it some of the videos were doing really well, but I needed a way to still make content on here, but not like totally something that's not as labor intensive that I have to do when I'm clocked out. Something like this, a stream, I can stay clocked in, I can be productive, um, and at least be doing some content that maybe some people would like. I hope, anyways. What's this? Firestorm? Whoa. This is kind of cool. Bigfoot. That is a cool cover. I think that's pretty good art. Um, you know, very detailed, like wind lines, a little bit of action, like you're in the middle of a dramatic moment. Um, abstract thing in the background, simple, simple idea, but very three-dimensional. I think that's good art. One of the cooler covers that we've seen today. Um, Firestorm. I don't know. I have no idea who Firestorm is. Sorry. Just I'm guessing he does fires. He's got cool hair. Man, none of these covers are as cool as that one. But I think I got a big stack of Firestorm books here. Let's see. Oh, that's two stuck together. It's kind of cool. Kind of fun. Let's, I love the ads on the back. Peanut M&M's, my downfall. my weakness. My one weakness, or my one of many weaknesses. M&Ms. M&M addict here. M&M support group. So it's been 2 days since my last bag of M&Ms. I was at work. I was kind of stressed out. I was doing all these comic books. Was worried that I wouldn't get it all done in time. Worried that maybe bagging all these was a waste of time. And then I walked in the break room. There was a little yellow bag out of the corner of my eye that I spotted, and couldn't control myself. Started with one. The mini bags, they trick you. They trick you because, oh, it's just a mini bag. What is that? 120 calories for a mini bag of M&Ms. Oh, it's just a mini bag, just one. It's just one. One, one becomes two. Two becomes three. And well, hey, you've had three already. Why not just eat your fill? Just eat your fill. Dude, I don't know. Is that worth bagging and boarding? I don't know. Maybe. You got some Namor. These are already bagged. Good. This one has a bag, but no board. I'm really only bagging these because they are old. Um, don't really know much about that book in particular. I got a ton. Look at all these, dude. Look at all these. Some of these have do this backwards. Hmm. Arion, Lord of Atlantis. This is one that you can tell, like, okay, from the cover, that it's not going to be very good. Just looking at the fidelity and the illustration of the face, you could tell, okay, they're not taking a lot of time with the cover. Are they going to take a lot of time with the art inside? Um, no, no, they're not. They're just throwing it together. But hey, I mean, they got a budget. The artist got paid. I'm always on the side of artists getting jobs. Don't begrudge them for making art that is not like top tier, most amazing art. Sometimes the budget that is provided by the publisher is not enough to. Okay, gotta get the phone charger. Yeah, so sometimes the budget that the publisher is willing to pay for art doesn't give the artist a whole lot to work with. So you can't blame some of these artists for just making kind of lame art. They're craftsmen, they're tradesmen. They they're doing these jobs. Nothing can be, not everything can be a great masterpiece. A lot of it is just kind of low grade. All right. Whoa, that looks sick. Dude, if you had bought some of these Legos back then and kept them sealed, dude, be like a millionaire. My buddy invested in Lego things and he's actually made a really good return on his investment just from buying Legos the last 10, 20 years. The only thing is like you have to be able to hold them, you know, just like any asset, even if it's comic books. I would say comic books investment, I don't know. Yeah, I think you have to love them. That's my opinion. Or if you just happen into like a bunch of graded stuff or a big collection, cool. But buying them at market price and trying to hold on to them or collecting new books, you should do it if you love it. So yeah, I'm just bagging and boarding about 500 long boxes of books that we are going to be selling at I'm trying to, okay. So I'm workshopping. So we have to come up with a name for the um it's a cool old Doom Patrol book. It's pretty rad. So we've got to come up with a name for the event. It's not going to be free comic book day because we're charging for the comics. Um, so so let's workshop some ideas. Um, Comic book Mageddon, the comic book Studio Cities, the last bookstore, Studio Cities, last bookstore, comic book sale extravaganza plus. How's that? How about the last bookstore super comic book sale extreme part 1? We're just workshopping ideas for what I'm going to call this massive sale when I finally have all of these books bagged and boarded, which may take a million years at the rate that I'm going. It may take a little while. So, a little bit about this stream. This is the type of stream that, you know, maybe you have it in the background while you're working. Maybe you have it in the background while you're doing laundry. Um, Maybe you watch it if you're my mom and dad. Um, Other than that, I don't know. I think this stream has to be uploaded to YouTube in order to get my public watch hours. So I should probably say some interesting things. Okay. Okay. Here's what I'll have to say. Whoa. That cover's awesome. The Adventures of Bayou Billy. That game looks awesome. I think I remember playing that when I was a kid, but being underwhelmed with the gameplay. It's like a bait and switch. Like the cover art is so cool for those games, and then it's kind of lame. Kind of like comic books. Oh boy. I don't know. Micronauts #1. Is that worth anything? If it's in mint shape, if it's in a nine, if it's in the nines, probably, huh? If it's just in a low five, like that one was, with the creasing, the small tears, possible humidity exposure, then probably not worth 8 ton. Well, we're getting stuff done. Uh, I find for me personally that streaming, working while streaming is can sometimes be more productive than working while not streaming. I'll tell you why. When I'm working, when I'm not streaming, my cell phone is just right there. And just like there's a million things like bills, little alerts, little stupid things, people trying to call you, people trying to do things. But if you're streaming with your phone, like I'm doing right now, um, I'm not getting any of those alerts, man. So I don't have any of those distractions. So the only dude, Archie comic books, I don't know. So the only distractions, whoa, dude, you know there were Jolly Rancher watermelon sticks? Are these electrolytes? That looks like a little electrolyte pouch, right? Um, I don't know. I thought electrolytes were invented in the early 2000s. as a way to market salt from the salt mines. The salt mines were overflowing. There was an overabundance of salt, and um, the businessmen were like, "Hey, we need a way to we need a way to market all this salt. Hey, let's call it a fancy word, electrolytes, and add some flavoring in there and charge people for it." Oh yeah, dude, Dungeons and Dragons tabletop. I wish I had time to play. I have fond memories of tabletopping with my best friend and my friends way back in the day. Got the member berries. Got the member berries working up. Not a care in the world. Just playing some tabletop. We did. Well, oh, you were listening. The shorts were good, weren't they? But after doing my for some reason after last week, uh, was so fried that I mean I have a ton of ideas. Like I think maybe what it was is that I was getting too ambitious with the ideas. Like, yeah, the last video I was wanting to do was on the C.S. Lewis space trilogy, the Out of the Silent Planet um, thing that he wrote in 1937. I wanted to do a video on that because there's a scene in that is really similar to a scene in the 2007 Danny Boyle Alex Garland film Sunshine. And so C.S. Lewis, atheist who turned Christian, Alex Garland, avowed atheist. Very different worldviews. However, both very similar in that they are artists tackling some of the biggest issues like existential issues of like where humanity is going to go. Where did we come from? What happens when we die? Alex Garland, he's an atheist, doesn't believe in God, but he wrote that awesome film Sunshine that Danny Boyle directed, and that it's all about the psychological and emotional responses to being in space and being exposed to the sun. And some of the characters are just like, oh, this is just they take a really scientific approach, like, oh, it's just the sun, this is the physiological interactions. The psychologist on board, he's like, no, this is like really it's like showering in light, and he has this profound experience. He kind of gets addicted to it. And then there's another character, the antagonist, um, who basically worshipped the sun and turned the sun into a god, and he goes insane and he, tries to sabotage the mission. And so Alex Garland is kind of making a commentary on like, okay, the only character in his script which has like a religious thing, like that we would call religion, who worships something goes totally insane. So he has like a commentary on that's kind of his commentary on that. Um, but in C.S. Lewis's book, um, Out of the Silent Planet, the main character gets abducted by these dudes, and he's aboard a similar spaceship, which has like a space viewing room just like the one, or very similar to the one in Sunshine. And the character has an emotional response to the seeing the sun. Like he talks about, he like looks at it and he has feels like he's showering in light, like it's like this profound experience. He'll go back to his quarters and fall asleep, and then he'll only stay asleep a few minutes because he's woken up because he just wants to go back and bathe in the sunlight. He's like getting addicted to the sunlight, and he is having like an experience really similar to the experiences that the crew of the Artemis on the Sunshine film are having. And I just thought it was fascinating. C.S. Lewis wrote that in 1937. Um, he actually wrote it after he was in that group with J.R.R. Tolkien, the Inklings, and Tolkien, was more into sci-fi than C.S. Lewis was. And I guess C.S. Lewis was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna read more sci-fi, gonna get more into it. And then he was reading like H.G. Wells and Manly Wade Wellman or whatever. And then he wrote those those books, and he writes a scene almost exactly the same as that sci-fi Sunshine film. So I'm doing this video idea, and the video is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I'm just like, okay, so now I have to compare the worldviews of C.S. Lewis and Alex Garland. Okay, so I'm gonna get clips from all these Alex Garland things. Oh, but then I have to read the C.S. Lewis trilogy. Oh, and I have to write a really good script to get all this in. How am I gonna do this in a short under 60 seconds? No, I can't. It has to be a long form video. And then I'm like, ah. So it just became like this massive, huge thing that I never did because the project got because it writing the script just took too long. But I have like a rough draft of the script and what I want to say. I just wanted to do like it's an interesting confluence. I just want to so my main point, I think the main point if I were to make one, because I don't want to contrast and compare atheism and Christianity all in one video. That would just be that's just insane. I think what I want to do is kind of say, hey, C.S. Lewis and Alex Garland are the reason why they wrote this scene almost exactly the same. The reason why the characters ended up having almost the exact same experience, one written 70 years before the other. The reason is that both of these guys are really good writers. They're artists in that they can project, they can use their imagination to imagine what it would be like to be somebody else experiencing something for the first time. And so they imagine, like, okay, what if I was this character and I was abducted and put on this spaceship and I'm seeing the sun for the first time? What would that be like? I wonder what the effects would be like if I was seeing the sun for would there be any weird psychological, physical things? Yeah, I bet there would be. And they did all this digging, and C.S. Lewis obviously did that. Um, but then Alex Garland, so C.S. Lewis did that with one character. He's like, okay, well, this one character, what would their reaction be? And then Alex Garland, he imagined it with a whole crew of people. And he was really smart about the way he wrote his script because each of the people have a different worldview. So you've got the scientist physicist guy, which is who is played by Cillian Murphy, great great actor, uh, kind of the star of the film, the hero of the film. And so he's like a cold, calculated scientist. He's just it's just about the raw facts and data for him. Then you've got the psychologist who's more interested in I don't know how you would reduce his character down to something, but all these different characters have a different point of view, and obviously the antagonist who goes insane and tries to derail the whole mission, he is like he sees the phenomena as like a spiritual thing. So all of his lines are all of his lines in the script are written from the point of view of somebody who sees like spiritual things and everything, which Alex Garland, atheist, obviously he has like he's critiquing that, he's critiquing people taking meaning beyond what you can scientifically deduce or whatever. So yeah, the planning of making that video was just like, okay, I can't do that in 90 seconds. So, anyways, now I am craving M&M peanuts. Don't don't do it, mom. Don't get the jumbo peanuts. Don't, because you know who's going to eat them. Mom, mom, do not get the jumbo peanuts from Costco. You know, you know what's going to happen to them. They're going to disappear. They're going to disappear real fast. In the middle of the night, you'll look over. You'll be at Costco. You'll pick it up. Be this big old thing of jumbo peanuts. Oh wow, this will last a long time. Take it home, put it down on the counter, go do something else, and come back a little later. Kind of notice in the corner. Oh, it looks like there's a little. Oh, somebody ate it some. Okay. Anyways, probably not that many though at first, and then walk away. Maybe it's the next morning, and you walk downstairs, make some toast, make some eggs. Then you look over at the corner of your eye and the peanut thing, there's a little more missing from the peanuts. This was a jumbo peanut thing. This is supposed to last for a long time. Um, and before you know it, yeah, they're gone. Do not, I mean, maybe, maybe getting jumbo, maybe getting a thing of jumbo peanuts is actually one of the most like if we're gonna have like nuclear war or something, and you need to have food that's extremely calorie dense and extremely rich in calories and just pure energy. Maybe getting a few containers of jumbo peanuts is not a bad it's not a bad investment. Probably live off of a thing of jumbo peanuts for quite a while because they've got the outer shell. They have so a lot of people don't know this, but the jumbo peanuts at Costco are some of the most effective cost effective stores of energy that you can buy in the advent of some sort of disaster or nuclear strike. The way that so the US government actually designed the peanuts to be a perfect store of energy. Inside there is the peanut. and then it's covered with the calorie and nutrient dense chocolate mantle. We call that the chocolate mantle. And oh, what do you know? There's a protective layer on the outside, the painted on candy shell of the M&Ms, which protects it from disintegrating and protects those calories for a really, really long time. Um, yeah, the CIA developed the M&M back during the Cold War to be a store of energy. A lot of people don't know that, but it is the perfect store of energy, and there's a reason why it's in all of these food buckets or doomsday buckets. I mean, there's a reason why peanut M&Ms are in every single one. It's the most calorie dense food that you can buy. And if you go to Costco and get a big bucket, it is the cheapest source of calories that you can get. I highly recommend if if you think that you need to stock up on calories, um, don't get a bag of rice. Get a giant thing of peanut M&Ms. Guys, you know I'm making this up, right? Please tell me you know that I'm joking. Okay. To the 5 people that were on the stream earlier who heard my whole peanut CIA peanut rant and took it to heart and go and buy peanuts at Costco, well, it's on you. It's on you. Okay, what was behind the whole milk got milk thing? That was some sort of big public money laundering public service campaign that was really weird, right? Like all these ads of people with milk mustaches. You would think that they would need advertising for milk. There's some sort of money laundering scam that was going on with Got Milk thing. I think CoffeeZilla needs to do. I think I think CoffeeZilla needs to look into the Got Milk. Forget forget Nick Shirley for a minute, okay? Um, can we have CoffeeZilla look through the Got Milk campaign of the late '90s or whenever that was, and find out where these public funds were going? Because, um, yeah, um, yeah, I think something was fishy with that. Uh, Got Milk campaign, all these stars, all having milk mustaches for just like a commodity with a bunch of different brands. You're telling me that you're telling me the stories that the milk lobby or whatever industry joined with the government, did some payola with the government or something so they could get some big public campaign to pay people to do that, and that's all it is. Yeah. Next. No, that's wrong. Okay, dude, look at how many. Ooh, look at all these. Dude, Next, I'm gonna price all of these. I'm actually really happy with how much I've gotten done. I think people are gonna really like these. I have to get together with the store manager to come up with some sort of a ad thing because I run one of our Instagram accounts, but that's like one of the smallest accounts. It only has like 9,000 followers. I would love if um the store manager and the store owner would help publicize this comic book sale because I think if we get a ton of people here, um, it could be huge. I want to sell like I want to do like 10,000 bucks in comics, man. I want to make it a big success. Let me get an e-title. It's cool. Cool cover. More got milk. Angelina Jolie. Let's see, what is this? 9 essential nutrients for my one essential body. What? What are you even talking about? Angelina, what are you even talking about? Who wrote that? Whoa, no more Batgirl? He's pissed. What is that about? Dang, I need more bags. Dude. Or I need more boards. It's like I have more like a lot of these have a board, or a lot of these will be bagged like this one, and there'll be like 2 or 3 copies of the same book inside. Like this dude was a serious collector. Um, Hopefully I can reuse some of these bags or some of these boards that are just sitting around. I know they're not ideal. Some of them are a little big for the bag, but I don't think I have a choice because there's so many duplicates here. I just have to be really judicious with how many I have to be judicious with the resources that I have. Um, Some of these are way big, dude. Okay, I'll tell you a story. Okay, here's the story. I was This was in 2023. I decided to go down to Laguna Beach to oh, oh crap. These boards are too big, dude. So yeah, it's 2023. I decided to go down to Laguna Beach to snorkel. I got there like 9 a.m. I checked the tide report and everything. And when you're going snorkeling, you want the waves to be not so big. Um, because if the waves are big, that means visibility visibility will be low, and it's also a little bit more dangerous. Um, so I'm walking down there. I'm trying to find a spot. Pull out of the car. Like I get all my gear. I lug it all down to the beach, and there's there's like nobody at the beach. It's really weird. Really popular beach. Usually a lot of people are there, and there's like the lifeguard, and there's a couple other people looking at the tide pools off in the distance. And there's like a little wind, a little breeze coming off of the ocean. Looked like a yacht sailing by in the distance. Um, Maybe doing some fishing out there. And go down there, and I got my gear on. I'm washing out my mask and walk down to the water edge. And right as I'm about to I clean the mask out and everything. I have this little anti-fog stuff that I spray in the mask. Got the flippers on, I got the weight belt on, got all that stuff, and mm, cool. Metal man. That's pretty rad. I don't know what it is about streaming. It kind of takes a little bit of it takes more brain power. Takes more brain power than usual. And I've got so many comic books here. If I see any that I need to look up, I'll do that. Let's see. We've got a bunch of 1990s Marvel comic books. This titled Quasar. I don't know anything. I don't know anything about Quasar. All I know is that Quasar is a very it's a very, very small particle, right? It's like a particle of energy. Guys, I hope quasar is like a particle of energy because I feel kind of dumb if it was. I do feel that social media is rotting my brain, and because I'm trying to get this YouTube and TikTok thing going, and sometimes at night I'll be like, "Oh, let's check out the TikTok stats," because my TikTok is doing. It had some a few viral videos that did really, really well on it, and so the TikTok has like 4,000 subscribers, which to me, anyways, that's pretty good to me. And the YouTube doesn't really. And so I'll go on there sometimes at night. Let's be scrolling, and then before I know it, I'm like, I'm like, I can't stop. What is? And I'm like, and there's like this small voice like inside of me, like saying, "Jeremy, stop, let us out." And I'm like, no, but I have to see what is the next thing that's interesting. And then finally, I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna stop after this next story because this might be interesting. This might be something I want to see. And then I'm like, finally, I have to be like, oh, dude, do you remember these? Dude, these things are awesome. Dude, these things were so sick. Yeah, these Tiger single game things were awesome. I remember my my grandparents got me one of these. I forget what game it was, but they got me one for Christmas and I loved it so much. I played it so much. That was so fun. Um yeah, these things were awesome. I bet these are pretty collectible. Those little Tiger game things. Um that's interesting. I'm gonna look on eBay and see like how much those are going for. I don't know. The member berries. People people want the member berries. Some Namor comic books, kind of cool. Early 90s. Some fun comic books. They're not super collectible, but I mean, they're in awesome shape and I think that I don't know about this one. I don't know if I should have wasted a bag and board on that. I think it's just because I saw it was DC. If something's DC or Marvel and it's in pretty good shape and it's from the 80s or 90s, I'm gonna throw it in a bag and board just because yeah. I think there's I think there's collectors out there that will get them graded. Like I think to grade something is like 20 bucks, and if you pick something up and it's like in the high nines, you get it graded, you can flip it on eBay. You might be making not be making like a lot of money by flipping it, but you'll be making something. Um, so a lot of these guys will come to the store and pick the stuff out and flip it, which is fine because hey, don't want to hang on to these things forever. Gotta want to sell them. The cool double issue Justice League. Yeah, I've done a lot. Getting a lot done. Pretty fun. Gotta watch out for these corners. I don't want I don't even want the smallest little nick because if somebody's coming in here and they're gonna grade it, I want them to get a really good price for it. So I wash my hands. I wash the oil off of my hands to not make um, any marks on there if there's really collectible books. I could probably go wash them again, but yeah, when you're in the flow, you gotta just you got gotta just be in the flow. So I'm using the cheapest brand of bags and boards which you can buy on Amazon. Like 30 bucks for 200 bags and 200 board. And flip them over. Yeah, this brand pretty good to me, anyways. Some of the brands are like too slippery. Like I feel like the petroleum used to make the bags is low quality and they'll be they'll be really slippery to the touch and have kind of an oily feeling to them. I mean, it's not scientific, but to me, that signals to me that the bags are perhaps lower quality. Like maybe processing, they're using a process to finish the bags that leaves some sort of residue on the bag, and that's why they are more slippery. I mean, it's just conjecture, but these ones are pretty good. X Factor's fun. Oh, I love these. Who's the artist? Did the Sam Keith. These Sam Keith, these Sam Keith Wolverine covers are some of my favorites. I met him at a comic book convention when I was a little kid. He was selling these prints of Wolverine, kind of like this. It was like Wolverine, and he was like in a swamp or something. And me and my friend got these black and white prints from him, and he signed them. I wish I knew where my print was. It disappeared though. But I always loved his Wolverines and Punishers. Just like drawing the huge muscles and the hair. The hair on Wolverine's arms, just like freaking cool. Some old Avengers. Man, I wish I remember where that thing was. So, oh, there's a cool Batman detective. That's a cool cover. That's a Sam Keith cover too. I um I have this urge to look Sam Keith up right now, you know, but I can't because I'm working, and I'm in the flow, and I got to get this done, you know. But yeah, when the member berries come, there's a cool old Thor double issue. There's like an annual issue. I think like that's how thick all comics should be. I think just these comics that are most comics that are like 20 pages, I think that's so thin. Like it's like dude, why even bother printing it out? Why even bother printing it out if you're gonna just print 20 pages? I think it's a little bit of a waste. Okay, Xena Princess Warrior gave a good idea for the potential name to the comic book sale. They said, what about hiding a token in a comic book and incentivizing people to buy for a prize? That's a good idea. Whoa. That's a really oh, oh, you know what would be cool? Is I could hide like a $50 gift card in one of the well, if I hid like a $50 gift card in one of the comics, um, I would just be afraid if I'd be afraid that everybody would like tear through the boxes and would kind of damage some of the comics. Um, but that might but see, I shouldn't shoot down a good idea because that is a good idea. Beautiful. These DC Who's Who comics, they're like an encyclopedia of different heroes. There's no like stories inside. It just has a list of the heroes or villains or something, and then it has like a short description, a little blurb, and um a few facts and things, a few pieces of art, some covers. I really like the layout that they did with these. I think it's an attractive layout. So I was late to work this morning because I had to make a tour poster for my band that I was supposed to do last night. And so I woke up, I did it on Canva, and then I was like, well, I'm going to be late to work anyway. Why not do some more little errands? So I went to the violin store in Pasadena, and the violin luthier guy there is going to work on the bridge of my violin, making it easier to play old time music. Because the fiddle is a good fiddle. It's a Eastman kind of a student model, but it's a good fiddle. But it's set up for classical music, which means it has a really high bridge, and it has the angle that you need to change the bow to attack the certain strings is a bigger, more severe angle. And the classical ones are set up like that so that you can focus just on one string, because a lot of these passages in the orchestras and in classical music is single notes, like a bunch of people playing single notes at once. The whole double stops, there are a lot of double stops, but mainly in the like the solo. But in old time music, you're playing double stops all the time because you've got like one note kind of droning. Gen 13. Dude, I remember buying Gen 13. when I was like in middle school or high school. This was the like horniest comic book at the time. Kind of funny. But yeah, we're talking about I wonder if I have a Gen 13 number one around here. I hope I do. Because I know those early Gen 13 magazines, if they are in good shape, might be worth getting graded. But I don't know. That's an early one. Number five. I think that's the first run of Gen 13. And that one's in pretty good shape. I don't know. That might be worth I should set that aside. It might be worth getting graded. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just kinda I'm just kinda guessing, to be honest. Oh, here's another early one. Maybe if I sold them like as a set on eBay, but the whole point of doing this is so that I can sell these at our sale, our big sale. So I don't want to put stuff online. I want to have as much of it on the floor that people can see as possible. Because like when you start hoarding things and you start like researching the value of every little thing, then it's just like no fun and like people can't find a treasure. Like it's lame. If every single collectible is priced out and is totally researched and you're pricing it at the highest price that you could possibly get for it, it's like, dude, what's the point? You're basically a collector at that point. There's no value for the buyer there. And there has to be value for the buyer, man. I think that's why we have a lot of returning customers is that I've priced this stuff extremely aggressively. But there is one sort of sad thing with this big sale is that I have completely finished going through all of the comic book back stock that we had there. So we are not going to have a dependable, steady flow of comic books anymore, which we have had for over a year now. Over a year, we've sold, I don't know, like about $1,500, $2,000 of comic books every single month. I mean, it's not a lot, but it's something. Now that's gonna be gone. That that's gonna be gone. I mean, slowly it will dry up. These big annual like triple issues are really cool. Um, Sweet. Whoa, what are those? Dual turbo thing? Anyways, I think that but then it's just like, hey, I'll be done with this big project. There will be space in the container outside, which is good because those containers aren't free. Those are a monthly lease. And I'm not sure how much they are, but I'm sure like we've had those containers for over a year. Um, like four shipping containers, paying rent on them for 16 months. Each one's probably like $150 a month. Like, dang, that's an expense. If you can get rid of that expense, and put the space that the storage containers are filling up to a more economic use, then that will be a positive thing. So in that way, getting through the comic books is in some small way, I think, going to positively, impact the whole business. Even though I will be sorry to price them all, because man, I've loved just going through comic books is fun, and I'll be bummed when they're all gone. Uh, and the last ones are sold, but can't be can't be too precious with things. Everything's temporary anyway. This stuff's gonna be dust one day. It's just an illusion that it's gonna be here forever. We'll be here for a while. Ain't gonna be here forever. Nope. 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 You should see my leg where I've been putting the old tape. It's like covered with all these things. Whoa. Dang, that's a nice book. Dang, the pile. Whoa. That looks cool. Hulk versus the Abomination. Dude, that looks kind of awesome. I always love the Hulk lettering. Just so straightforward. Just the letters made out of like big stone blocks. So cool. Like who else has cooler lettering than the Hulk? That's the coolest. Those are the coolest titles. Yeah, it's iconic. Yeah, I got some old Darkhawk here. Got some. It's kind of fun. They had a comic where they actually. Well, actually, they don't. They don't have a comic. I was gonna make up a fact that I didn't really know. Wow. So you guys get to see the front of the cover. I get to see the cool advertisement on the back. think it's so crazy that Dungeons and Dragons is like more popular than ever now. I have all these friends, um, not all of these friends, but I have several friends who are like, "Oh yeah, we're playing a big campaign of Dungeons and Dragons. We meet every week." I'm like, dude, how do you have time, man? Like that's like my dream is like to have time, to have spare time to play Dungeons and Dragons. That would be awesome. To play D&D with some buddies. Like that that is the ultimate luxury. If you're living some sort of life that allows you to meet with people and like spend hours and hours together playing an imaginary game like D&D, you are a wealthy man indeed. Hmm. So I've got all of these video ideas that I want to do that I've kind of just abandoned. Um, one of them, I did one video. It's the famous artists cartoon course. It was started in the 1950s after. So after World War II, there was something called the GI Bill, where if you were a veteran, you got a good amount of money that you could use towards school and education. It was enough money to, get a degree. And there were all of these cottage industries that could get the federal money, and a lot of these were postal correspondence courses. Um, and one of the big correspondence courses was how to become a cartoonist, the Great Artist Cartoon course. And it was started by it, oddly enough, it wasn't started by a cartoonist. And my legs kind of going numb. It wasn't started by a cartoonist. It was started by Norman Rockwell, who that great painter who did these idyllic scenes for the Saturday Evening Post. You wouldn't really call his work comics per se. It's more like I'd say like pretty like realistic paintings. Or anyways, him and these other dudes got together, and I'm not sure if it was like generated from him, but he was like the main one of the main artists. This company, I think, hired him, and they put together this whole curriculum on how to become a cartoon artist in the 50s. And this course was a course that you would take over 2 years via postal correspondence. Um, and so you would pay the fee and you would get these big books in the mail, these big binders, and they would have lessons that you were supposed to do each week. And it starts out like how to draw a head, like draw a balloon, You draw a balloon and imagine that it's like a 3D thing. Then you put the features on the balloon. Start of the famous artist cartoon course kind of starts out in a systematic way, teaching the students how to draw. So you would do the lesson. You were supposed to take like a whole month perfecting the lesson and practicing it. And then the you would send your assignment in, and an instructor who was there would grade your thing. And they would send you back a really intense critique. And they didn't sugarcoat these critiques either. They would give a really in-depth critical thing. So this course, when you think of like stay-at-home courses or internet courses, some of them are kind of low value, but this was not a low value course. This was an extremely valuable course that actually a lot of comic artists that went on to have careers used this course. And I got like one of the first printings of the comic book course in this 3D binder set. So I wanted to do, I've been an artist, on and off, for a while, mainly painting things. But when I saw this comics course, I was like, man, it would be fun to learn to draw like comics. And so I had this idea, like a video series where I would go through and do the lessons one at a time and become like a better artist. But man, I don't have time. I don't have the time to do it. Like, or maybe I do have the time. Maybe I'm just making excuses. But if I didn't have like this job here and I was like a full-time content creator or something, that would be a that would be a video idea that I would want to do, that I think would be fun. It's a big old double issue. It's nice. Let's see. Is anybody trying to text me? No. Good. I mean, I like to hear from people that are trying to contact me. I love it that anybody, anywhere with the digits of my phone number can just come into my life with a with a message. I love it. I love it that anybody in the world. I love that anybody in the world with anybody in the world with the digits that connect to this phone can at any time destroy my peace. I think it's just I think I need to stop streaming when we get to 200 minutes. Because, like, this stream represents unceasing work. I mean, every once in a while I'll stop to like talk and put something up. But for the most part, the stream is just never ending, unceasing work. And I don't think, I do not think that YouTube is serving this stream to anybody else because it recognizes that I'm running out of steam and that the stream might be a little boring. I mean, I did tell some good stories. I told the whole thing. I explained the whole C.S. Lewis thing. I did some graphic design analysis on the Batman comic books. Um, I see. Just trying to think what I did that was interesting. Well, I showed a lot of covers. I made some disparaging remarks about the new Teen Titans cover art, which I feel bad for because hey, just an artist getting paid may not have been the best art. Okay, shouldn't mean I should doesn't mean I should tear him down for that or be overly critical. But then again, no, no, I think it's okay. I think it's okay to have an opinion. I think it's okay to have an opinion and to say the opinion. I just think there could have been a more constructive way that I could have shared my there could have been a more constructive way which I could have shared my criticism of the artwork because the artists are working with certain constraints, time and oh, check it out. There's an ad for it. Whoa. Hell yeah. Heck yeah. I found an ad for it. Norman Rockwell. That's awesome. I got to set these aside. That is so cool. That's so cool. So when is this? This is 1967. Okay. So that's well into when the course was going strong. 67. Dude, that might be worth something. That's an old comic book. Hmm. Yeah, some of these I got to look up, especially the old ones. Well, I think I'm going to end at 200 minutes of streaming. So that's in 6 minutes. So let's try to make these last few minutes as animating. Let's finish strong. Gen 13, one of the most horn dog comics of the era. Um, I think I had some issues back in the day. I think these are later issues though. Okay. Let's finish strong. Let's see if we can let's see how many we can do in the last 6 minutes of the stream. Okay, one. You guys count. I'm not going to count. Just counting will take up my brain power. Yeah, I got to figure out for the next stream a way to set the camera up that you guys can see what I'm going to be bagging. And I think that might be more interesting visually. Might be more interesting visually. Uh, yeah, I need to figure out a more friendly way. And I think before the next one, I should shave. And make sure I don't have these red things on my face. It's a reaction to silicone for the mask I have to wear at night. When I'm fighting crime around town. The silicone mask can be irritating. Apparently somebody's playing baseball in the store or something. Okay. Almost there. So each package of bags and boards is 100. And I had 4 packages. So I had 400 total. And we are at I just opened up the last package. So we've done over 300 books so far. And the stream is almost 200 minutes, which is the longest I've streamed for. I'm trying to get the watch hours so I can become monetized. But I think before I do that, I need to have like a better product. I need to have a more interactive, fun stream. Need to figure out a better background. Need to figure out better camera angles. I need to listen back to this stream and see if the sound was okay. I'm not using my mic today, so I'm not sure how the sound is, but that is one thing that I can probably improve on. I love the Hulk lettering. It's the coolest, man. Like, I really think that the Hulk comic book lettering, at least this series, is some of the best. Big blocky letters made of blocks. Big three-dimensional, big three-dimensional blocky letters. Pretty cool. Okay. Just a few more. That is one. And here's the last one. Last comic book bagged and boarded of the stream. Green Lantern Emerald 2. Okay. From the 90s. That's all she wrote. There ain't no more.